Hi guys, and welcome back to a Scout Report. Because Forest were busy in the transfer market, and we brought in two players, Joel Ndala and Tyler Bindon as well. And I'll be honest, even with my extensive football knowledge, I ain't seen much of these guys. So I've gone to the man himself, the most knowledgeable scout. He should be a scout. Forest, if you're watching, call me, I'll give you his number. And that's my man, Antonio. His link is in the title. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Make sure you're following him on socials as well. They'll all be in the description as well. We did the ones about, it must have been a year ago, when we're doing like players coming into Forest and stuff with the silver and what have you.
Yeah.
And he wasn't wrong about what he said. I'll leave that link as well on the end screen if you want to really test his knowledge and see what he said, if it was true or not. Antonio, my man, how are you, bud?
I'm good, bro. How are you? Thanks for having us back. How are you? You all right?
Thank you for coming, man. I really do genuinely value your opinion, especially on these younger players, man. So it's our pleasure.
That.
And guys,
it's a good time to be a Forest fan as well, isn't it?
Hey, third in the league, title charge, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't guess. I'm praying you get into Champions League. Honestly, am, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on this channel, but like it would be crazy fun if you got in the Champions League.
Bro, I'm just like, come on, 14 more games. 14 more games. But yeah, you were in Newcastle last night. How was the atmosphere there?
Oh, mate. Everyone's got a spring in the step this morning. Going back to Wembley. If we win this trophy, it's going to be a party for a full year. I'm telling you, they're crazy. But the atmosphere in the stadium last night, honestly, like the ground was shaking. It was crazy. Okay. What a win. I'm so happy.
That's what I want. I want Forest, Newcastle, Villa, shake up this cartel six, man. Bring out proper football and let's see where it goes, bro. But so guys, don't disappoint me. Make sure you go and it's easy. It's in the title. I've made it so easy. Just click on it. Show Antonio some love because he is about to give you a hell of an insight into these players. Let's kick off with Joel, bro. Like, start us from scratch, really. Like, treat us like we know nothing about him because we pretty much don't.
Yeah.
Just give us his background first, I guess.
Yeah, so Joe was born in Manchester. He moved to France at a young age, moved back to Stoke with his parents, and that's where he started his career really kicked off. He went to Port Vale Academy, and he was their superstar, just absolute baller in their academy. He was their star guy. He was approached by Villa. He went to Arsenal and then rejected Arsenal. He rejected Villa, rejected Liverpool. And then Man City actually paid a fee to get him out of Port Vale's academy. And that's where and then he progressed through the ranks at Man City. But where I first noticed him at, I already knew about this boy. I'd heard about him because I speak to a lot of scouts and stuff. And I already knew about this boy. And I watched him at the Under-17s World Cup. And he blew my mind. I think he got 3 goals, 2 assists. England didn't go on to win the tournament, but he was night and day above everybody. Don't know if he was just having a purple patch, but he was simply outstanding, putting people on ice. And then he's moved to PSV. Hasn't went so well. And because I knew I was coming on here, I did reach out to one of my guys that knows him. And so I've got some insight on why it didn't really go well.
And that was in their B team, wasn't it? So it wasn't first team, yeah.
Yeah, he made no appearances for the first team. He played for it's called Young PSV, which is pretty much their under-21s.
Yeah.
He played for them, I think it was about 12, 13 times. Scoring 1 goal, getting 1 assist, but he had an injury which kept him out for about 53 days. So I think it was the change of environment, getting an injury, just keeping him out the side, and he didn't really get settled. But I think with this environment and culture that Nottingham Forest have now built, I think it could be a perfect environment to land on. So what you're going to get in essence, he's a right footer that predominantly plays on the left wing, but he can play anywhere across the front line. Not really a centre forward, but he can play as an attack midfielder. But he's best out wide because he likes to receive the ball on the touchline, drive at his opponent. But his standout quality is his dribbling ability. His ability to create separation, technically outstanding, quick feet. He's got this nice ability to modulate his speed and just manipulate his opponent into a challenge before dropping his shoulder and going off the other way. He's that type of fleet-footed winger. But what I like about him is his ability to glide through challenges. He's good in transitions. Why I think he would fit well in Nottingham Forest is he's quick on the break. It's
Yeah.
like red arrows just darting forward. And I think he suits that style more of a Pep Guardiola systematic type of style. If you can get him in an environment where I kind of liking it in Newcastle United last night, where they caused chaos in the final third,
Yeah.
that's what you're going to get from him. Now, what I like about him, what stands out to me, is his ability to go both ways. He's a two-way dribbler, and he's so good if you can get him inside the 18-yard box, just in line with the post. He's got this ability just to drop his shoulder and get a strike off very quickly, just getting a yard of space. So he's dangerous in the penalty area. He's dangerous in the final third. And he's just somebody that's full of trickery, excellent technical ability with a frightening turn of pace. Somebody similar to like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Elanga, that type of style of winger.
Right. So he's got pace. He's kind of quick, is he?
And frightening acceleration, pace, frightening.
What's his shooting ability like? Is he, because we see a lot of Callum Hudson-Odoi, he likes to kind of cut inside, do that finesse cheat code shot.
Yeah.
Is he one of them ones who likes to take a shot maybe from the edge of the box, or does he prefer dribbling into the box, or just, laying it off into the box for a striker?
Dribbling into the box. He likes to stand up his man, dribble into the box, and then he's got this ability he doesn't mind using his left foot. He's adept with both feet, and that's what I like about him. Because you see a lot of wingers these days, especially when they're playing on the opposite side, always cutting in.
Yeah.
Whereas this guy's got that confidence to go on his left foot. He's crossing from wider areas, can improve on his weaker foot. That's something we're going to have to work on. But when he gets a sight of goal, he doesn't mind firing a strike. And that's what you need when you're looking to make a moment out of nothing. And that's the type of player he is. So he's definitely he's got a high potential, but you need to bring that potential out of him.
What's his work rates like going back? Because Nuno's quite adamant that his wingers get back, help out, do a shift. Is he learned that yet, or is that something that can be improved on?
Definitely something he can improve on, because he does it at times. I'm not going to sit here and criticize him because he does work hard at times, but he's a type of player that a couple of improvements I've noticed in him is he lacks that concentration for the full 90 minutes. He switches off sometimes. And I think that just comes with maturity and game time. And I think with Nuno, he gets people running through brick walls for him. Yeah. That's a type of manager he is. And I think he can get the best out of Ndala. Nuno is probably the best coach to bring out these weaknesses and strengthen them. So he definitely does need work on that. He also needs work on his physicality, learn how to protect the ball better, being stronger in duels. And I just generally think one of his weaknesses is understanding the game more, where to position himself, where to move off the ball, where to position himself in defensive transitions. Things like that do need improvements. But when you get the ball to him, he's the type of player that can spark a bit of magic.
Interesting. So he's come into our youth system. He's joined the youth team at the moment. I guess kind of my final question on him, mate, is how far away do you think he is? Obviously, I'm not going to hold you to it, just in your opinion, from potentially maybe stepping up into the first team. Is he ready for maybe like the FA Cup game we've got coming up against Exeter? Or I know it's probably too soon, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is he ready for a cup step? And then how far away from being part of the squad do you think he is?
So do you know what Eric De Silva, how he's been a bit part player?
Yeah.
I think Ndala's going to spend the 6 months probably in the youth team, and then next season he'll get a full pre-season with the squad, and he's going to be that bit part player where he starts the odd Premier League game and mainly getting opportunities in cup games, but he's definitely at the right time and the right age to really start integrating into senior football, because if he doesn't, he's just going to get used to and probably fall by the wayside in under 21 football. And with a player of his potential, yes, there's a lot of rawness to him, but you learn on the job sometimes in football, and I think he needs to mature on the job.
You got me, I'm not gonna lie, you got me excited about him. It's like,
I knew I would.
Yeah, it's the way you're talking about it. It was not so much that what you said, it's how he sounds like he would fit into that Nuno philosophy and that Nuno
Yeah,
strategy. Do you know what I mean? What you're saying there, well, I mean, you said it. Nuno seems like the right person or the right idea in terms of how they're going to develop him into it. And it's quite exciting
yeah,
because I still think Eric Silva's looking fantastic on
yeah,
the game that he's come on. He's still, yeah, of course, he still needs development and work. But if we got these kind of players coming through, like looking ahead, that's what Forest are doing a bit. You know, yes, we
exactly.
need to finish in the Champions League spots at least this season. But you've also got to think about the future at the same time. Us as fans, obviously,
Without a
short-termism
doubt.
is more important, but the club are looking the right way, man. So it sounds quite
Oh,
exciting.
absolutely. I think this is the perfect type of profile to bring into your squad. And I always say
Mm,
that people can have the best talents in the world, but you've got to bring in the right profiles to fit
yeah,
your system. And
yeah.
that's how you build a squad. And Forest have been excellent at that with Milenkovic, Murillo. They're bringing in the right profiles to complement each other. And I think Ndala has the right profile to fit Nuno's system. So it's definitely a positive signing for me. But he just needs to mature his game a bit more. But I'm sure with the culture and the structure Nottingham Forest to build, it's the right
Yeah.
environment for him to do that, definitely.
Exciting. You guys watch and let us know in the comments how you're feeling about it or from what Antonio's just said about him. And I guess that brings us on to the second player, Tyler
Mm,
Bindon, who honestly I'd heard nothing about until we started to get wind that he was about to have a medical at Forest. We put it out on Twitter, and honestly, the response from the Reading fans was positive. It wasn't like back off, man, something happened. It was please look after him. This guy's a talent. We're putting him up with the Elises that have been there, obviously different positions, but you know what I
yeah.
mean? And it's like, I was like, wow. And suddenly I was like, I need to look into this guy. And I was like, Antonio, what are you saying about it, right? Talk to me about Tyler. Obviously, another
Mm.
player from New Zealand, and we've got Chris Wood. We've got another one out on loan with our sister company. But yeah, start me from the beginning, from what you know about him, bro. Like, are they right to be hyping this guy up so much?
Personally, I believe so. I
Mm,
think this guy has a huge ceiling, and already I would say within probably the next 12 to 18 months would be comfortable enough, in my opinion, to start for a Premier League side. I think
okay.
when you watch him in League One, he's levels above every other defender, levels above. Now I'm not familiar with where he started his career, like as a young age, like
Mm,
I am with Nadala, but where I first watched him was for Los Angeles. I was watching a boy called Gabriel Peck, who's now playing for Los Angeles first team, and I noticed this boy, and I was like, he's so composed, just mature in his game. He stands at 6'3". He actually started his career as a defensive midfielder, then he
okay.
moved to right back, and now we've finally settled at centre back. And I think that education's given him the qualities he's shown now. Because when you play as a defensive midfielder, you need good awareness, you need to be technically very good, and you need to be good at reading the game. And that's all of his three standout attributes. He's extremely professional, and the best word I can give him is he's a Rolls Royce.
Mm,
In possession, he reminds us of somebody like, I'm trying to think of like a Rio Ferdinand.
wow.
So
Okay.
calculated off the ball, super comfortable in possession, and it's his maturity that just belies his age. Really, he's what I like about him is he's actually captained Ren this season. So it just goes to show he's got organisation skills, he's got leadership, and he just knows exactly what to do on a football pitch in different situations. Now, when I watch defenders at a young age, they're very rash and flustered in one-on-one
Yeah.
situations. He's
Yeah.
different, bro. He's different. He's so calm, calculated, knowledgeable. He understands what the wingers are going to do when they try and beat him. He's never rash and diving into tackles. He's so calm and calculated. He'll only go to ground when he knows he's gonna win the ball, and that's what I like about him. And he's got good recovery pace. He's not the quickest,
Mm,
but he's got good recovery pace. And I always say availability is the best ability at that age. He's
yeah.
played the most minutes out of anybody under 21 in Europe this season.
Wow.
So and that's above Lamine Yamal, I think second on the list was Jarell Hato of Ajax. So he's played the most minutes out of anybody in Europe this season. So availability, he's durable, and he's super comfortable in possession. His technical ability for a centre back is outstanding. So in that, I think he's built that from playing as a defensive midfielder, being good on the ball, knowing when to make a pass, making the right pass. His decision making's good. He's good in the air. He's got quick feet. He's 2-footed. And why I think he'll do well in a Nottingham Forest system is his vision from deep. He's got this ability just to ping long balls either side and switch play. And I think when Forest are attacking, they need that ability. Somebody just to miss the middleman and send direct attacks. And I think you can just imagine it now, Bindon just sending Ndala in on goal. Just little things like that, I think, build a club in a team. And I think Bindon is probably... I'm trying to think if Forest are going to loan him out to a championship club. I think it's good that he's going back to Reading on loan. But for me personally, I would keep him in the squad next season because I just think he's ridiculously good. That's the best way of putting it.
Does he play on the left side of centre back in a 4?
He's right-footed. He's currently playing on the left side, so he's got that ability to play on the right or left. And to put in comparison, he's currently playing alongside a young Senegalese centre back at Reading. Now he's the complete opposite. He's a lot more raw. And I think that just shows you how professional and mature Bindon is. Yeah. Because he's a lot more rash in these challenges. He dives in recklessly, whereas Bindon doesn't. And Bindon's actually averaging 7.5 clearances per game, which is more than anybody in the Premier League. I know there's a discrepancy in the league, but it just goes to show his ability to read the game and acknowledge exactly what's going to happen before it happens. So he's got that ability. He's just a tremendous, tremendous player. I really like him.
Yeah, you always get me excited about these young players we're getting in, bro. I think like something that's being discussed very loosely in the Forest fan base is this going to be Murillo's replacement? You know,
I thought that. I didn't want to say it to upset you.
I know, but like, you know, we have to talk about it because there are links to Murillo away, even this window. I know he signed a new contract and everything, but contract, what's it worth these days? Not the paper it's written on kind of thing. So in comparison, because obviously he has been an absolute baller for us. But for me, if I was being critical of Murillo, his biggest weakness is aerially. Sometimes he gets underneath the header. He's not the tallest, and I think he's about 5'10", 5'11". How does Bindon compare, in your opinion, aerially? Well, not to Murillo, but in general, how is he in the air?
Very good in the air. Yeah. Very, very good. Good leap. Times these leaps well. He's aggressive. He's not... When I say aggressive, it's calculated aggression, which I like. I like in him. But aerially, I don't have any qualms about him at all. He uses his height to his advantage. He doesn't mind being tough with people. And that's what I like. If he needs to be gritty, he will be. If he needs to leave something on someone, he will. And when I'm talking about statistics, I did me a little bit of research for you as well. And
that's why I love you, bro.
When compared, because I was looking at Murillo and looking at Bindon, and I was thinking, could this be his long-term replacement? Murillo makes the most clearances in the Nottingham Forest squad. Bindon makes most clearances in League One. So there's similarities there. Murillo's long ball distribution, he makes a lot per 90. Bindon's averaging 3.31 long balls per 90, and that's accuracy as well. He's averaging 82% accuracy in his long balls, which is incredible. And that's something that Murillo brings to your team as well. And Bindon doesn't engage often because he tries to be calculated in his challenges. But when he does engage, he's got a success rate of 73.1%, which is ridiculous. I know he's playing in League One. I understand that.
And it's relative.
At a higher level, better players will have a quicker speed of thought so they can nip the ball around you. But even doing that at League One is quite outstanding for his age and his lack of experience.
Yeah, it's, as you normally excite me, the more you're talking, the more worried I'm getting about Murillo.
Murillo, I know.
Yeah,
That's why I
because
didn't want to bring it up.
no, I know, but you can't make me happy every time, bro.
I've
But
got
but from what you're saying, it sounds like they've profiled him on a
yes.
lot of the strengths of Murillo and seen that, and potentially, I'm not saying Murillo's going or anything, but
No.
it may be a case, if I'm going to be positive about it, that they're thinking, okay, Bindon probably needs another year to 18 months, like you said, maybe loan him out of the championship, keep him in the squad. The
Yeah.
likelihood is Murillo may see out another year, depending on what Forest do, knock his value up, and then you've got that almost conveyor belt sequence where it's like, right, Bindon's
Yeah.
ready, he can come straight in, replace Murillo if that's the case. I don't know what happened there, but you can still see me. Yeah? So yeah, is that your? Don't worry about my feelings. Would that be your take on it a bit? When you saw him being linked, was that the kind of
The
numbers?
vision. Yeah. If you want us to be honest, it is. However, what I do want to see is, I think Nottingham Forest are guaranteed European football this season, whether that be Conference League, Europa League. Personally, I think you will get European football. And I think for that reason, Murillo will stay.
Yeah.
Now, I think this summer's window and possibly the next summer window is going to be crucial for you, because if you can bring in additions where Murillo sits and thinks, we're going places here, you'll be able to keep Murillo. And I think your owner is a type of owner that doesn't really care. He just wants to win, I think.
Yeah.
And I think he doesn't really, yes, he cares about the money. I get that. But I think it would take something phenomenal amount of money to prize for them to accept a bid for Murillo. So personally, I don't think Murillo is going to go anywhere in the summer. That's just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong.
You're right, bro. You're right.
So, and I think with you qualifying for Europe, you need more squad depth. I think that's what Nottingham Forest are lacking at the minute. Not quality in squad depth, should I say. So I think bringing in the Bindon is perfect for that, because it'll allow you to rotate. Now, Murillo's got different qualities to Bindon, but there's also very much similarities. So I just think it's a great signing. And I think you signed him for, what's it, $1 million or something?
Yeah, that's the rumored reports, like chump change. Yeah.
That's ridiculous for somebody of his quality already. Now, I'm not saying he's a finished article, because that would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
But for his potential and maturity in his game and the level of, he's already been playing international football. And he's playing League One football. He's made 13 appearances for New Zealand. So that just goes to show the hype around this guy. And if he can bring what he's doing now into the Premier League, I've got no problems about him, because he's not getting found out in League One, but he's standing out in League One. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So personally, I think it's not a Murillo replacement. It's more of a squad addition.
Yeah. Okay. You're
If that
just
makes
trying
sense.
to make me feel better about
Yeah,
it.
I know. I don't want the Forest fans to hate us.
It'll be like, if he leaves, I'll be like, Antonio, it's your fault.
Antonio,
It's your fault. Marinakis watched this, and Antonio said he's going to be good enough in the Premier League. No, listen, mate, it's so insightful. Like, guys watching, what do you think on Bindon? Do you think he's a Murillo replacement, or are you going to agree with Antonio? Yeah, let us know in the comments below. Listen, mate, I can't thank you enough. It's been
no problem.
honestly, because I'm starting from zero on these two boys. I'm sure a lot of you in the comments are and watching it are as well. So show some love to Antonio. He's put the time in just to give us this insight. Please go and subscribe to his channel. The link's pinned in the comments, and I'm sure once these players get up and running, he'll be doing a couple of scouting videos on his channel as well. It's a fascinating channel, so make sure you check it out. Antonio, as always, bro, an absolute pleasure, mate.
No problem.
Thank you so much for the time.
Just for anyone watching, if you've got any additional questions you want us to answer, drop us there's me Twitter handle. Just drop us a post on Twitter, and I'll make sure I get back to you. And I just want to say thank you for having us on.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
appreciate
he replies to me. He's going to reply to anyone. So his Twitter will
it.
be in the description. Again, I'm making your life easy. Don't be lazy. Go there. Ask him some questions that I've forgotten on Bindon or on Ndala. I can never say his name right. Ndala. So Joel. I'm calling him Joel, right? So make sure to go and ask those questions. And we'll see you on the next video. Make sure you've liked and subscribed as well. And as always, come on, you Reds.